Welcome to Fox 54 News at 6. I'm Kenesha Dees. We're leaving a major winter storm behind us, but guess what? Those cold temps are still sticking around. But take a look. The sun came out to play today. We love it. But it didn't really help much with keeping us warm, but very pretty to look at. I'm not going to lie. Let's bring in Fox 54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Jordan, will it get any warmer?
It is going to get a little bit warmer over the next couple of days, but then it's going to get cold again. We'll talk about that here in a few minutes, but the key takeaway is that it is going to get just a little bit warmer as we head into the middle part of the work week. 34 degrees right now in Huntsville, 32 in Athens, 32 both Pulaski and Fayetteville, 32 over in Florence, still holding on to 33 degrees in Fort Payne, still holding on to 36 right now in Scottsboro. Now, temperature is going to fall off over the next couple of hours. By 8 o'clock, many of us are going to be sitting in the upper 20s, 29 degrees at 8 o'clock, 28 at 9, 27 degrees by the time we get to 10 p.m. We are going to notice an increase in cloud cover across the Tennessee Valley. Those clouds are going to stick with us as we head into the overnight. For the most part, I think we're talking about an overcast sky as we head into the overnight, but that does nothing for keeping us warm. We still drop into the low and mid 20s. I've got a low temperature right around 25 degrees, some of us bottoming out right around 23 or 24, 25 at 8, 28 by 9, 31 degrees by the time we get to 10 o'clock in the morning. Then as we progress later into your Wednesday afternoon, slightly warmer across the area. Still not average, but slightly warmer. I think you'll like it. We'll talk about it in a couple of minutes.
The winter storm left North Alabama under an Arctic grip. Roads were treated, schools closed, and utility crews on standby as the region braced for the worst. Now that things are thawing out, local leaders are looking to see if all that preparation actually paid off. Fox 54's Logan Alexandra Russell shares how local cities did.
For days, headlines warned of ice and bitter cold, but it wasn't the amount we were expecting. This weekend was a test for many cities across North Alabama of better safe than sorry. Preparations looked similar across multiple cities, from trucks treating the roads to utility workers on standby and even police putting up barricades on bridges and overpasses. And the work didn't stop once the ice came. Rain later in the weekend threatened to wash away road treatments, forcing crews to monitor flash freeze conditions as well as retreat the roads. Now that things have died down, officials can evaluate whether it was all worth it.
We were there working to do the best we can with what we had. So we feel like we took good steps. We learned a lot. Like I told you just a minute ago, every one of these winter storms is like a snowflake. They're different. Everyone behaves different. So you have to take what you know from the past, look at it, evaluate it, know what the equipment can do, know what the brine can do, know what the salt can do, and just make decisions and go with them.
Leaders say they're already looking at the small challenges and lessons that popped up to ensure that the next time an Arctic blast hits, they'll be even more prepared. In Madison, Logan Alexandra Russell, Fox 54 News.
As we continue to see frigid temps through the week, it's important to bundle up and stay prepared. The City of Madison says Republic Services is running one day behind on yard debris and large item pickup due to this weekend's winter storm. Crews will continue service through Saturday to get back on schedule. You should leave items at the curb for collection and expect services to resume as soon as possible. If your child attends Lauderdale County Schools, the district has announced schools will be closed tomorrow because of the conditions of rural roads. And you can see that there. Roads in the county are still icy and extremely dangerous. You can find a full list of school and business closures on our website, fox54.com. For more weather coverage, along with 24/7 radar, check out our live stream right here on Fox 54+. Big news from Coleman County. Hanceville Mayor Paul Campbell has announced he's resigning effective immediately. Campbell says he's stepping down because of ongoing grief following the sudden death of his wife in April and the growing demands of leading the city. You may recall, Hanceville has been mired in controversy since a police scandal led to the dissolution of the entire police department last March. It's not yet clear how the city will fill the vacancy. We're continuing to follow a lawsuit in case of a child care worker in Huntsville charged with multiple counts of abuse of a child. Cameron White, pictured here, was arrested on 2 counts of sexual abuse of a child under 12. This case has raised questions on the responsibility of child care centers when it comes to protecting children. Fox 54's Gabe Glassman spoke with a sexual abuse attorney and has more.
A child care worker in Huntsville is currently facing 2 counts of sexual abuse of a child. And this case has sparked a lawsuit against Cameron White, the former Trinity United Methodist Church childcare worker. According to court documents, Senior Law LLC is also suing Trinity UMC and Trinity Child Development Center. Bart Senior says in a statement, "Our goal is to achieve accountability for what has occurred so that this never happens to another child."
If you're in the business of providing childcare, it's your duty to protect the kids. Sexual abuse is unacceptable. These kids will be traumatized for life as a result of this. These kids, these survivors, will be traumatized for life for this.
We also spoke to a Birmingham-based sexual abuse attorney about the law in Alabama. Tommy James says it is the law to protect children.
If you're taking care of children in Alabama, the duty under the law is your responsibility for the safety of these children. And obviously, with the allegations here and the criminal charges, in addition to a civil suit being filed, something obviously happened there and they didn't protect these children.
White remains in the Madison County Jail. The bond combined from the two charges is $100,000. In Huntsville, I'm Gabe Glassman, Fox 54 News.
James adds the Alabama Department of Human Resources requires background checks for people working in child care, saying the #1 duty under the law is to protect children. The man accused of shooting a Scottsboro police officer and leading police on a day-long manhunt is back in court tomorrow. Daniel McCarn is charged with attempted murder in the July 26th shooting of Lieutenant Derek Porch. The incident began as a domestic violence call and escalated into a pursuit that ended with gunfire, wounding Porch in the hand. The shooting triggered a 24-hour manhunt across Jackson County before McCarn was captured. You could see that there, that aerial footage. Lieutenant Porch has since recovered and returned home. McCarn scheduled to have a pretrial hearing at the Jackson County Courthouse tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Residents are feeling hopeful after a Limestone County judge's ruling late last week regarding the Belmina rock quarry. Residents claim the quarry is a nuisance to the area, citing dust affecting air quality, truck traffic causes backups, and loud blasts coming from the quarry. Now, a new ruling requires the quarry to keep equipment 1,200 feet from homes. Operations must stop at night, and trucks must stop blocking the road. One local pastor tells us they're already noticing a change.
I've seen a few people walking the grounds. I've seen some of the trucks moving around, and we've also noticed that the rock trucks that are coming to pick up loads are not as heavy, and so it's obvious that they have not been operating in the way that they have in the past.
A trial to determine the future of the rock quarry is set for April. We've learned 4 people without a home tonight after an early morning fire. Huntsville Fire and Rescue say they responded to the 6,000 block of Belgrade Drive around 4:30 this morning. 4 people and 3 dogs were inside at the time of that fire, including a woman who was taken to the hospital for smoke inhalation. Officials say the fire started in the back bedroom of the home, but the cause of that fire remains unknown. The house considered a total loss. If you use the pharmacy at Fox Army Health Center on Redstone Arsenal, expect longer waits. The base pharmacy says it's seeing a big surge in patients since TRICARE copays went up this month. Many military families are switching their prescriptions back from retail and mail order pharmacies to save money. That's because most TRICARE beneficiaries now pay $1 to $9 more per prescription, but active duty service members still pay nothing. The longest waits are between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. The pharmacy says it's working to serve everyone efficiently and thanks patients for their patience.
There's so many different levels that people utilize AI at now.
The U.S. Space and Rocket Center tackling the subject of artificial intelligence, also known as AI, and its 3rd annual symposium, a look and a listen on how it could help you. And this first-time teacher is already getting recognition for her excellence in and out of the classroom. You get to meet her. Stay with us.
Now, Fox 54's Top Teacher. Sponsored by Calhoun Community College.
I'm excited to introduce this top teacher. She's only been an educator for roughly 2 months, stepping in to lead her class of 4th graders. Already ahead of the curve, she's this week's Fox 54's top teacher. Meet Caitlin Hood from Legacy Elementary School in Madison.
Oh. This is my first year teaching.
And from the looks of it,
I actually came in like towards the middle of the year.
you couldn't tell. Just look at Caitlin Hood's wall.
Debated for a while. I have 4 kids of my own at home. And I had always said maybe once they were all in school that I might be interested in finally using that degree and becoming a teacher.
That dream in the form of a degree became a reality once a 4th grade position at Legacy Elementary School opened up.
Jumped at it and got it and loved it.
She went from working with 4 kids at home to working with 4th graders at school.
Yes, I have to specify all the time at home now. When I am talking about my kids, I have to also specify my students.
And for Hood, she tries to keep it fun.
Right now we're doing a review game. My class actually got the goose that goes from like class to class my very first week. So that was fun. And that was also the 67th day of school.
Principal Catherine Rogers says what makes Hood the best teacher for her students is making her class feel like home.
I think just loving the children like she does. She loves them like her own. She does great activities with them, and she holds them to a high standard. So I think they will remember all those things about her.
And Hood says she brings her best, hoping her students are at their best.
They have already made leaps and bounds with a lot of English.
But more importantly, Hood wants her students to know whether it's her first year or 4th, they are her children too.
I think the biggest thing that I've always said that I care about is just that they know that I care and that I want the best for them, and yeah.
Congratulations, Caitlin. It's an honor to recognize you. Check out the moment she was surprised as a Fox 54 top teacher right here on Fox 54 Plus. And don't forget to nominate one on fox54.com. Trouble on the tarmac for one NASA jet in Houston. Details ahead on what went wrong. And while our eyes are on the sky, Jordan, these cold temps, are they here to stay?
They're at least going to be here to stay through the forecast period. We're going to talk about it in great detail here in just a couple of minutes.
Now, the Tennessee Valley's certified most accurate forecast from the Fox 54 Weather Impact Team.
Cold, dry, clear all throughout the Tennessee Valley today. And here's a look from Huntsville. Beautiful sky, I might add. The sun came out. Sun came out to play, but
it was dry and clear. Okay, can we it was cold, but can we
Very.
focus on the dry and the clear part of that equation?
Why?
Because I'm tired. That's why. I I was trying to think back to every storm or every significant weather event I have covered in my now, as of tomorrow, 10-year career. This comes in second, very easily, for the most tired I have ever been post-weather event.
But it wasn't boring, though.
Well, no, it definitely wasn't boring.
It's thrilling.
I mean, yes, it is thrilling, but I am now incredibly tired. I wanted to start off by showing you something kind of cool. Snow and ice coverage. First, we're going to start with North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Still a little bit of snow and ice on the ground across northwest Alabama, Lauderdale, Colbert, and Franklin counties, and then up across southern Middle Tennessee. But I wanted to zoom this out a little bit more and show you the bigger picture. Look at this. It gets more widespread up across Tennessee, heading up into Nashville, Kentucky, back into Memphis, North Mississippi, back into Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri. And then we zoom things out more, and you kind of get the full gravity of this winter system and just how much of the country it impacted. We're talking about snow and ice across Texas and Oklahoma, heading well up into the Midwest, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio. Some folks, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, picked up anywhere between 8 and 12 inches of snow. Locally, the snow totals were higher once you got up into the Northeast. Some folks were talking about 16, 17, or even 18 inches of snow. A good chunk of the continental United States is currently covered in some degree of snow or ice. So I'm very excited to tell you that we're not talking about any form of precipitation across the Tennessee Valley through the rest of the forecast period. That's the easy part of the forecast. The complicated part of the forecast comes where we still have to talk about the cold. And it was a cold morning. We dropped into the single digits up in southern Middle Tennessee, over in northeast Alabama. Look at that. Fort Payne started the day at 9 degrees. Everybody else started the day in the lower teens. 13 this morning at the Huntsville International Airport. Our friends over in the Shoals started the day right around 14 degrees. Temperatures have only climbed into the 30s. Well, actually, we saw 40 degrees at the Huntsville International Airport. We're sitting in the 30s right now, 34 in Huntsville, 34 in Arab, 32 in Florence, and a pair of 32s for both Pulaski and Fayetteville. More cloud cover as we head into the overnight. If you haven't already begun to see that cloud cover develop here over the last hour and a half, you're going to see it more as we head into the overnight. Temperatures, though, still going to drop off. I've got a low right around 23 degrees. Some of us might only see 24 or 25. 24 at 7 o'clock in the morning. Kids are going to want to bundle up as they head out the door for school tomorrow morning. I believe most of the kids are probably going back at the regular time tomorrow morning. And you're going to want to bundle up as well as you head out the door for work. 25 at 8, 28 by 9, and then 31 degrees by the time we get to 10 a.m. We're going to start with a fair amount of cloud cover across the Tennessee Valley, but that should give way to more sunshine through the later part of the morning and then early into the afternoon. I hope you like these colder mornings because they are, well, they're kind of here to stay. Thursday, Friday, we're talking about low temperatures in the 20s, but then another shot of cold air builds in as we head into Saturday, Sunday. We stick with the colder air even as we head into Monday of next week. Now, we are going to be slightly warmer tomorrow afternoon. I've got a high temperature right around 40 degrees, low and mid 40s as we head into your Thursday. Now, these numbers still going to be below average, but at least it is going to get a little warmer as we head into the later part of the work week, all thanks to an area of high pressure that's going to allow our winds to have a solid southerly component to them. Now, as we head into your Friday, Friday's going to be a bit of a transition day across the area. Once we get to the weekend, we're going to find ourselves under the control of yet another area of high pressure. Winds are going to have a more northerly component to them, and that's why we're going to start the weekend so cold. And then we don't warm up at all as we head into the weekend afternoons. Saturday afternoon, 23 degrees, 32 on Sunday afternoon, climbing into the lower 40s, still below average, Monday and Tuesday of next week.
Well, check this out. A NASA research aircraft landed without landing gear in Houston this morning after experiencing a mechanical issue. Here's a look. The plane landed at Houston's Ellington Airport around 11:30 a.m., where first responders with a military subcontractor responded. NASA says that all crew members on board are safe, thankfully, and it will conduct a thorough investigation into the cause of that crash. Today marks the 57th anniversary of a fire that killed 3 astronauts. On January 27, 1967, the crew of Apollo 1 were performing a pre-flight test at Cape Kennedy when a fire broke out inside the command module. Astronauts Gus Grissom, Edward White, and Roger Chaffee were killed. The fire led to an extensive reworking of the Apollo command modules later used to land astronauts on the moon. Meanwhile, NASA says it's on track for a critical test ahead of its historic Artemis II moon mission. The agency plans to run a wet dress rehearsal as soon as Saturday. That means the massive Space Launch System rocket will be fully fueled and go through a practice countdown without lifting off. NASA says if the test goes well, astronauts could launch around the moon within the next few months. If problems are found, the rocket can be taken back for maintenance. A lot of folks in North Alabama will be watching closely. Marshall Space Flight Center plays a key role in the mission, from avionics and software to the development of the rocket's powerful boosters. This week is going to be a busy one at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. The museum hosts its third annual AI Symposium. Among the events today, one of the most popular workshops, Artificial Intelligence 101. The workshop, hosted by Grant Moyle, was designed to help attendees dip their toes into AI, something Moyle says can be a challenge.
We've seen over the last 3 years as a speaker is there's so many different levels that people utilize AI at now. We hear about how baseball teams and how advertising agencies are using these on massive scales, but there's a lot of people who say, how do I even get started? And that was what our session today was about, just getting started with tools like Gemini or Copilot.
Pretty cool. If you want to learn more about AI, the symposium is taking place through Thursday. And over at the museum at the Space and Rocket Center campus, the planetarium just completed the first part of a multi-phased renovation. The planetarium added a new computer system this month to help make images from NASA come to life quicker, all while celebrating the Year of the Explorer.
We are really excited to celebrate the Year of the Explorer in the Intuitive Planetarium because that really translates into every single type of program that we do. Every day we have shows in the Intuitive Planetarium that take you from the Earth to the furthest reaches of the cosmos and show you all sorts of things in between to give you some perspective, but still, beautiful and accessible, interactive.
Very beautiful indeed. You may recall the planetarium is on the ballot for USA Today's 10 Best in the Country. You can find the link to help push the U.S. Space and Rocket Center over the edge on FOX54.com. Mo, what's going on in sports?
Well, the Alabama A&M men's basketball team needed an extra day to wrap up their road trip in Texas. Highlights against Prairie View A&M, they're next.
Fox 54 Sports is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
Hey everyone, the winter weather that's sweeping across the nation impacting the SWAC with a few games being postponed because of travel. Among the impacted was Alabama A&M. The men's basketball team needing an additional day to lock horns with Prairie View A&M. Bulldogs have not won a road game against the Panthers since 2014 when most of the players on the current team were in elementary school. First half, Alabama A&M with the lead. Contavious Dozier adds to it. Coming off the screen and sinks the 15-foot jumper. Less than a minute later, it'll be Dozier splitting the defense in the paint, finishes with the up and under. He had a game high, 19 points for the Bulldogs. Late in the half, it'll be Karan Davis doing his best impression of Dozier with the reverse layup against the defense on his own. Alabama A&M leading by 10 at the break. Second half, it was more of the same from the Bulldogs. Sammy Peace's coming through, throwing it up to P.J. Eason, and he throws it down with the alley-oop slam. Bulldogs shooting 53% from the field. They go on the win by a final of 80-60. It was also a big weekend in Texas for the Lady Bulldogs, and the SWAC took notice. We'll start with Kayla Walker, the senior guard, averaging 18 points and 3.5 rebounds in both wins. And for her efforts, she was named the SWAC Women's Basketball Player of the Week. During that stretch, she shot an incredible 61% from the field. Also showing out for Alabama A&M was Kariah Beck, the grad guard, averaging 15 points and 5 rebounds while shooting 42% from the floor against Texas Southern and Prairie View. For her efforts, she was named the SWAC Newcomer of the Week. Now the Lady Bulldogs, they're at home this week, beginning with a game against Bethune-Cookman on Thursday night. Coming up tonight on Fox 54 in Sports at 9, we'll preview UAH's upcoming battle in the GSC, and we'll check in on Alabama as they take on Missouri. Kanisha.
Yes, thank you, Mo. Coming up on Fox 54 News at 9, a scandal at a local church daycare after an employee was arrested and accused of child sex abuse. We'll tell you how your children are protected. The Alabama House passes a new bill expanding the death penalty for certain crimes against children. We have those details ahead. And the election for Alabama governor is heating up. One GOP candidate arguing his competitor can't run for office. It's coming up on Fox 54 News at 9. Before we let you go, move over, Punxsutawney Phil. Huntsville has its own furry forecast with this Groundhog Day.
It's okay, the day's not important.
But this is, thank you, Jordan. This is Cosmo, the dog who predicted an early spring last year. If Cosmo sniffs the winter bowl, it sees a shadow, you can expect 6 more weeks of winter. But if he goes for the spring bowl with no shadow in sight, it's a sign warmer days are ahead. And he makes his triumphant return to Huntsville Animal Services Monday, so we need to look out for Cosmo.
I mean, he is very, very cute. Do I trust his forecasting abilities? Probably not.
I mean, he wasn't given the most accurate title, was he?
Nah, he does not. He does not have the title of most accurate, but he's cute.
He's cute.
You know, that at least he has something on the ugly rodent. Like, listen, his name's cute. Punxsutawney Phil is not a cute name. At least this guy is cute.